everybody? What is going on? Welcome to the Boys Crypto Show. How is everybody doing? Wow, what a day that we've had in the market. A mixture of red, green. We cannot let this bounce fool us. We're going to break it down level by level for each and every single one of you today. We're going to start off with Bitcoin. Let's go over to the bubbles. We have Jupiter, our biggest loser of the day, and the Walrus coin. Some random meme coin jumping to the top. 100, baby. Coming up out of the 100 to 200, up 12 spots on the day. We looked at this earlier this week. Woo! What a day it has been for crypto. Massive chop in the market, especially during the New York session. Let's pull up Bitcoin here, baby. Let's pull up Bitcoin. Shout out to each and every single one of you guys in the chat. We got Wanda, Carol, April, JJ, and Lily. Thank you for each of you for spending your time here with me on this Monday night. Let's get the crack of the monster and let's get diving into the charts. So we're at a pivotal time. Everybody. This is incredibly important for all of us to understand. Bitcoin is currently trading underneath the daily 200 SMA. That is a very bearish sign for BTC, baby. I do not like closing candles beneath this red line. The NASDAQ, the S&P 500, all trading below the daily 200 moving average. Not a good sign. We do have this bullish divergence on Bitcoin with the swing up on the RSI, while we have a swing down in price action. That does suggest that we cracked this high at 95,000 before we cracked the low at about 76K. That does look good for Bitcoin. So there's definitely confusing indicators in the chart, and this week is going to be very, very important. There's going to be very important this week, and this is likely what's going to lead us to understand the macroeconomic environment a little better, and to whether these risk-on assets like Bitcoin, baby, Bitcoin and all your altcoins are going to do well over the course of what could be the next few months / years, depending on how this trade war pans out. We get information on the tariffs tomorrow. That is what the markets are waiting on. We are waiting for clarity. We have no idea what countries are on our side, what countries are against us, or what kind of retaliation countries are going to have from the U.S. absolutely bending them over the barrel and showing them the 50 states when it comes to the tariffs. Shout out to Horrible Bosses, one of the American classic movies that I love, baby. One of the American classic movies that I love. We are for Bitcoin here, waiting for this news tomorrow. We are waiting to see what the president says. We are waiting to see what happens with the Federal Reserve on Friday. An emergency meeting can be happening. I did see that on True Social. An emergency meeting can emerge from crazy news tomorrow, or retaliatory tariffs coming from other countries tomorrow. Very, very important to look at and keep in mind when we're looking at the macroeconomic environment. We are currently coming down right now through this gap in the VRVP, a very dangerous zone for BTC, which is why we be seeing a lot of this chop. A lot of chop happens when you're in between a major gap in the VRVP, baby. This is the ball rolling down the hill scenario. We were up here at about 96,000 and we were trading here forever. This was like 2 weeks, 3 weeks of time here between February 3rd and February 24th, 3 weeks of time. We chop citied in there in this range right up here. I remember on stream we were like, come on Bitcoin, just do something, baby. And the crypto gods spoke and we dumped to the downside massively over the course of 3 days, leading into the biggest liquidation event in crypto history on the 3rd of February, where some of the biggest assets in the game lost about 50% of their value in just a few hours. A wild liquidation event. And here we are. We are in this gap in the VRVP. Our next support zone, baby, is down here in between this high 60s, low 70s range, where the volume does start to pick back up. Likely just as down up here when the bears won and sent the price to the downside through this gap in the VRVP. We know that the bears and the bulls were fighting this entire range here, and the bulls won. So likely there are leftover buy orders in this area that are looking to get filled, and anyone that is looking to get into Bitcoin at these prices is likely going to be entering where? In between the 618 and 786 Fibonacci golden pocket, which coincides perfectly coincides perfectly with this high volume node area, this high volume node cluster in between $72,000 and $61,000. A likely scenario here for Bitcoin falling down into this range. It can happen, and it can happen very, very fast. Tomorrow is going to be a key day. Mondays often have lower volume in the markets, especially during the New York session. Everybody's very, very cautious on Monday as it has 3 days of news to catch up on. A lot of research is done, and people aren't really sure how to handle going into tomorrow, which is arguably going to be one of the most important macroeconomic days in U.S. history, baby. In U.S. history, it can be. These tariffs can lead to one of the biggest trade wars that we've ever seen, and can lead us to have a macroeconomic meltdown if they do not go in the U.S.'s favor. Yes, the U.S. has won wars in the past. They have every time. But if you have Canada, Mexico, the European Union, a lot of major countries from around the world teaming up against the United States, they can constrict us. They really can constrict the United States to where Trump may have to fold. It's true. It's the reality, right? The United States does not win all the time, and will this be the time that the U.S. loses? It could happen. It could happen. So I just want to keep that on everybody's radar. Very, very important to understand from a macroeconomic perspective. This is likely, if we are going to get a higher low and this bull market is to continue, I do expect the bounce coming in between $71,000 and $61,000. Well, boys, crypto, that's a massive range. Yes, I totally accept that, and I understand that. Look what happened the last time here, baby. Look what happened the last time. Zooming here to a range that looked very, very similar. We double topped out and we fell below, had a massive capitulation event. Well, where did our Fibonacci come when we got up into this range? Well, taking from our swing low to swing high, our fib, our swing low here on this reaction to the high, we came down into that 618786 Fibonacci, got above, used a 618 as support, and we rocketed on out of there on one of the biggest rallies Bitcoin's ever had, some of the biggest daily candles ever, out of this 618786 Fibonacci golden pocket bounce. Now you can argue, yes, boys, crypto, we already had that. What if I took from this reaction right here and we came down to the 618786? That's a valid pull. This is a reaction right before the massive run up here. Right before the massive run up here from swing low to swing high, you came down and you did get that. Here, let's clear this up a little bit. You did get that 786 bounce from this reaction prior to the massive run up here after President Donald Trump got elected. You did have almost a perfect 786 bounce before the upside was that a bounce. Everybody's waiting for a $70,000 Bitcoin to be able to load up, baby, to be able to load up on this juicy asset. Are we ever going to get there? Well, Bitcoin has a history of doing the opposite of what everybody thinks is going to happen. Everybody's bearish. Are we going to get that moonshot here out of tomorrow when clarity comes to the market? We will have to wait and see. But yeah, Bitcoin in La La Land right now, in Lollapalooza, here in this high volume node gap, we have a massive gap in the VRVP telling me that there's not a lot of trading going on here. If we do pull up the volume indicator, let's see what the volume's looking like. It probably did pick up today. Why did it pick up today? Because the New York Stock Exchange was open. Here we go. So on the daily, right here, and you can see all these flags down here. These are all the big events that we have these upcoming few weeks here. Yeah, we got job openings, the ISM PMI, very important, coming up on the 1st. We had options that just expired on BTC. You have falling volume here with falling price. Falling volume with falling price. That means though we are having a sell-off, there's less and less and less being sold and less and less and less being bought. So there's less volume in the market, which means it is a lot more sensitive to big buy and sell orders. As evidence here, when the volume started falling off, we've been having some big crazy wick action to the up and to the downside, baby. So that's what I'm looking at for Bitcoin, baby. For Bitcoin. Drop your questions, drop your altcoins in the chat. Shout out to each and every single one of you guys that are here. Hey, what is going on? What is going on? Michaela B, Wanda, Roward, what's going on, man? I appreciate the emojis, man. I appreciate the emojis. Yeah, Trump never folds with the art of the deal. Yeah, I hear you, man. Sin Nasty Kid, what's going on? Glad you're here, man. Wanda, thank you. And everybody I shouted out before. Yeah. So yeah, Trump never folds. That's true. And that can constrict the American consumer. I don't know if you guys went to the grocery store in the past 2 days, but I paid double the amount for pie crust that I did 2 weeks ago for that same pie crust. The tariffs are hitting the grocery stores right now. They're already putting limits on milk, on eggs, on a lot of pork products, on everything under the sun. Massive limits for everybody because we're not getting a lot of our groceries here from the same same, or food supplies from the same countries that we were just a few weeks ago because of the retaliatory tariffs that they are putting on the United States, like Canada and Mexico, baby, and Mexico. That's what I'm looking at here for BTC in a nutshell. We have the bullish divergence saying, yes, we're going up to crack that $95,000 level before we break a new low here, but on the same side, we are beneath that daily 200 SMA, and it is imperative that Bitcoin gets back above that daily 200 SMA sooner rather than later. We start closing candles below the daily 200 SMA, that leads to struggle for Bitcoin here, and this struggle lasted for 2-3 months here before we got back above that daily 200 SMA. Daily 200 SMA, we fell below, we struggled, we got back above, led into the bull market. We got back above. This was the key entry. This was the perfect entry. That 200 MA you got in here on the break or here on the retest. That was the perfect entry for the bull market on any kind of leverage play. Here we go, back when the bear market of 2021, the end of 2021 to 2022 started, we lost that daily 200 SMA. Everything I do is about this red line, ladies and gentlemen. Everything I do is essentially about this red line. I got to get TradingView to save this stuff. Good night. Why does it keep going back to the ribbon? But yeah, we fell below the daily 200 MA, retested it. It is the exact same copy and paste of what happened. This led to the bear market. We fell through beneath. We retested bearishly, the bear market. We got above, retested bullishly, bull market. That was the perfect entry for the bear market. That was the perfect entry for the bull market. And this is what I'm going to be analyzing very, very closely here. I do not want to see us close more candles underneath here, come up and retest this line bearishly, and then fall to the downside. Can that happen? The answer is yes. Anything can happen here in trading, baby. Anything can happen in trading. We have to keep the downside targets on our radar. And I've been getting messages from a lot of people. People are scared. I'm scared. I'll be the first one to tell you that I'm scared. A lot of my net worth is in these assets. Is in a lot of spot in these assets, right? Particularly Bitcoin. I don't want to see Bitcoin fall off a cliff. And yes, am I prepared to buy more? Absolutely. But I'm not excited to see lower prices. I don't want to see my net worth plummet. Nobody wants that, right? So I am speculating on a higher low. Why am I speculating on a higher low? I have to. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. I have to speculate on a higher low until this low here at about 49,000 is broken. Can that happen? The answer is yes. If we break market structure, we create a lower low at that next lower high, I will be looking to exit out of my spot position. I'm not going to be exiting down here when we break this lower low. That is not the time to exit. You break that lower low, you need to confirm it with a lower high, and that's when I would be looking to exit the market up here at this lower high that would likely come in at the 618786 bearish retrace, right? If we got to break that low somewhere down here, I'd take from swing high to swing low, wherever that would be, and I would get out up here once Bitcoin got to $95,000, wherever. I would take this. Everybody understand? I would take this swing high to wherever the price action would fall, and I drag my fib, and I keep dragging my fib until we got that reversal to the upside at this bearish 618786 retracement. That to me would be the last opportunity to exit the market, and everybody would be so full of hopium again and so excited, and we'd still be beneath the daily 200 MA. The daily 200 MA is going to keep climbing up. It's going to keep climbing up, and it's going to curve very, very slowly. We'll likely still be beneath the daily 200 SMA. That would be that bearish retest. Once you break that prior low, bearish retest to the downside for BTC. Can that happen? Yes. The answer is yes, absolutely. So that's what I'm looking at for BTC. A couple different scenarios to keep on your radar. Why am I not 100% sure of the direction we're going to go? Because we have tariffs being announced tomorrow, baby. That is going to be the biggest thing that's happened for the economy, arguably, in a long time. And I can tell you why everybody's unsure. Everybody's unsure, and I have proof here. What do people rush into whenever everybody's unsure about anything? Gold, baby. Gold hitting an all-time high right now at $3,142 per ounce, just hitting an all-time high. It seems like every time I look at this, it is at an all-time high right now. Yesterday we looked at it on stream, an all-time high. Look at this volume. Look at this massive volume coming in for gold. Oh my goodness. This is crazy. Gold on a Bitcoin-like rampage here, Absolutely crazy for gold. This asset has been mooning. We've been up about 5% in the last 4 days. Yeah, 4% in the last 4 days. That does not often happen for gold. A asset designed to make you wealth? No. An asset designed to preserve your purchasing power. So this is telling everybody, this is telling me and screaming to me that the world, not just the United States, the world is uncertain about the macroeconomic environment right now, and gold is screaming to the upside as proof. That's what I'm looking at for gold. With that being said, we do have a little bit of a bearish divergence. No, we don't anymore. It just got defied. I was looking at this a little earlier. We zoom in here on the RSI. We had that swing across. We are now making, yeah, this is about, if this does not reject from here, gold will invalidate this bearish divergence to swing up on price action while we have a swing across in the RSI saying that we'd break this low before this high. I think this is going to be invalidated. Why do I think this is going to be invalidated? Because of the macro uncertainty in the markets right now across the world, and everyone's flocking to gold. Everyone's flocking to gold, and I don't blame anybody for flocking to gold. I really don't. All right, that's what I'm looking at right now, baby. That's what I'm looking at right now. For gold, the massive, just showing you guys that to show the massive uncertainty in the market. Let's dive on into the chat. Sid Nasty Kid thinks he found it. Yay, man. Thanks for the emoji reviews. What's up, man? Sid Nasty Kid says he thinks he found the next gem at AYO Protocol on Dex Screener. We'll take a look at it, man. Yeah, absolutely. We'll take a look. We'll take a look at a potential gem. We'll take a look at a potential gem. Let's do it. Going on over here to Dex Screener. Anything that's not listed on TradingView is going to be on this platform. I will warn you that 90% of the things that get released here on Dex Screener are absolute rug pulls. So just be very, very careful. Not to say everything is. Also, almost every good project that gets released that is now in the top 100 did one start on Dex Screener. So it's really, really cool to look at Dex Screener and understand you could get a grasp of a token of a project and understand what you're investing in prior to it being on TradingView or any of those bigger trading platforms. Okay, diving on in, we got AYO Protocol. AYO, what chain? AYO Protocol. We'll go with the top one here. Not very old, not a lot of volume, not a lot of liquidity. I am seeing that. But this is how all great things start. Yeah, I don't like that. But this is how all major assets, things that, you know, let's see here. Usually whenever assets get released, they have a massive pump to the upside and a sell-off. I do like the rounded bottom that we're seeing here. I'm not being super optimistic. We only have 61,000 in liquidity. 61,000 in liquidity is very, very low. I like to see $200,000 here in about the liquidity range and locked liquidity. That is all locked. It's 100% locked liquidity, so that does look good. It's been doing okay. It's only been out for a few weeks. It's been out for about 2 weeks. So that's interesting. This is on Solana. So very interesting on Solana. Yeah, I'll keep this one on my radar, man. I'm not going to say anything about it until I get some kind of more price action that is in the mix. I'm going to write it down here in my notebook. Where's my pen, baby? I'm going to look at the white paper and I'll let you know what I think, man. We got AYO Protocol. Yeah, very, very early. Very few number of holders, about 2,000 holders. It is what it is. You got top traders. And you know what you can do, which is super cool? I go over this every time that I can. Everybody who's worried about rug pulls, a rug pull in crypto is someone making a token and just pulling out their entire 70% supply on you, and then you're left holding absolutely nothing. You essentially invested in nothing. The anti-rug agent, the rug shall not pass, baby. This is one of the hottest agents in the game. To me, you could use it for free. You just type in anti-rug on Google. It's the first thing that comes up, and it will give you an AI safety score. Their AI will analyze the project and allow you to see the safety score. So we're going to take the contract address in here, and we're going to paste it, and we're going to hit go here. We're going to hit go, and we're going to see what the anti-rug agent says. I'd like to see something above 60. That's what I would like to see. Loading. Come on, anti-rug. But yeah, $225,000 in value right now. The top holder does hold 10%. It is what it is. Whereas, yeah, others holding 71. That's not bad. Holding less than 25% for some. What is this? Come on, reset here. It's not giving us an overview here. 71.65. There we go. Looking really good. 71 is a great score. That's a higher score than Trump coin. That's a higher score than Melania coin. And those look like rug pulls to me. So yeah, I just like to say that every time something scores higher than Trump and Melania is super funny. Because somebody owns such a large percentage of it. Trump owns like 80% of it. Melania owns a ridiculous amount. Same as Libra Wallet. Both of those guys should be, I mean, honestly, the people who made Melania coin in my opinion, I don't know why they're not getting sued like Hawk Tua coin was. Why not? They rug pulled the American public. Get it out of here. All right, so here we go. The analysis, the minting's locked. Top 10 holders own less than 29%. That's pretty good. 2 weeks old. That does withstand the test of time when it comes to age. Highest holder owns 10%. The wallet count's under 2,000. Those are your warnings right there. And the burn status is unknown. So yeah, 10% is pretty substantial. If this guy did dump, that would be horrible for the project. It's only $22,000 right now. His share of 10%, right? 10% of 225,000. That does look interesting. I'm gonna keep this on my radar, man. I'm gonna keep it on my radar. It does have a relatively good score. Not the greatest, but not the worst either. Not the worst. So I'm gonna keep this on my radar. I'll look over the white paper, man, and let you know what I think. Thank you, Sin Nasty Kid, for dropping that in the chat, baby. For dropping that in the chat. We got Solana for Sin Nasty Kid. Solana. Or that was a chain he wanted. Yeah, that was a chain that it was on. Awesome. Wanda wants virtuals. Yeah, we ended up calling the bottom for virtuals, and we took a trade off of it. And man, we are back from once we started. You're looking for a double bottom here on virtuals. You need it, baby. You need it here. And with Bitcoin is bouncing on the daily. I will say that. So a lot of these AI agents and things that have been beaten down massively are going to respond positively to that. The new daily candle is just printing for BTC. Over on Bubbles, we're getting a lot of green. Virtuals dropping the 131, dropping in the rankings over the past week or so, dropping 19 in rank. I do remember that. Yeah, falling from about 82. Can you believe just a week ago we were trading at 80 cents and now we're at 57? That's wild. That's carnage in the market. So here we are on the daily for virtuals. We looked at this daily bullish divergence here, and we did take that play, that pop to the upside. We did get that. We got that trade, and we were in, and we were out, baby. We were in, and we were out, made some juicy profits, about $1,800 in profits off that trade. That was absolutely amazing. Here we go. We have that swing up. We're looking for this curvature here in the RSI. We need this curvature here in the RSI, which is beginning to curve to create your... That's not really, it's not bullish divergence. I can't say that. So you're looking at your double bottom right here. Let's pull a fib. And see where we landed here from a Fibonacci perspective. So your Fibonacci, pulling from swing low to swing high. Did you respect any of the levels? The 886 maybe? The 786, you're kind of battling with it right now. You did fall below. Very key to reclaim that level there. Let's get this perfect here. Let's get this perfect from the swing low to the swing high. So yeah, you can fall a little further to the 886 at about that 55-cent level. You're getting a nice bounce here on the daily. The 4-hour looks good. You have a 4-hour bullish engulfing. So what are we looking for in this scenario? We're looking to play our 200 MA dominoes. Let's zoom on in here in the smaller time frames. So you got above the 1 minute 200 SMA, super huge. Then you're going to come and test the 3. You got above the 3. What are you going to do? You're going to come and test the 5 minute 200 SMA. You got above the 5 minute 200 SMA, so you're going to come and test the 7 minute 200 SMA. You're closing candles above the 7 minute 200 SMA. Everybody who knows this channel knows what happens when we start closing candles above the 200 SMA, baby. We're likely to go to the 15. The 15 sits up here at about 60 cents, And because of the severity of the dump, we know that these lines are going to be sloping down a lot further. It's the 15-minute 200 moving average. So if the dumps are more severe, this line will be falling down towards price action. Now it's resistance until it's not. But then you have the 30, which is sitting much higher. Look at that slanting down at 62 cents. That would be massive. The 1 hour way up here, baby. Look at this. You break the 1 hour, you're likely to come to 70 cents. So these are your resistance levels on Virtuals protocol. So another thing I do want to look at here for Virtuals, on your swing high to swing low, there is going to be a little bit of resistance here in this high volume node section when it comes to your 618, 786. This area right here coincides with this high volume node and this massive high volume node right here. Between your 618 and 786, between the 60 and 62 cent level is going to be a massive resistance zone for you to overcome here on the hourly. So I'd look for a reversal here. If you're looking for shorts, this would be the area to get into a short play and position it to the downside, putting a stop beneath that high. That would be speculating on that lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low market structure. But if we do break this high, you could speculate on that being the first higher high in a set, and then you can speculate on that cup and handle higher low from the 618, 786. So if we do come up here and create something like this, We get a moonshot up, and then that, from that point, that 618786, that retracement to the downside for your first higher low down in this region would look very, very juicy to me for a long entry for the upside, or to the upside here on the hourly. And that could happen over the course of the night, something that I would keep in my arsenal, keeping my arsenal looking on into the night if I'm looking for any kind of trades. But I'll be honest with you guys, I'm not looking to trade. I'm not looking to trade until we understand what happens tomorrow. I can't do it. I can't get into a trade now knowing that when I wake up, the entire macroeconomic environment of the world could change. I know they could wreck me, whether to the upside or to the downside, and I'm not looking to play that game. So I'm sitting on my hands until tomorrow evening, until we get a better understanding of the macroeconomic environment in this country, baby, in this country. PMG, Corey, what's going on, man? I'm glad that you stopped by, glad that you're here. So that's what I'm looking at for virtuals. If I am looking for a long, I'm looking for that cup and handle, that first higher high, coming back to the 618786 golden pocket Fibonacci, which would be a high volume node at that point if we come down and create more price action here and look for that reversal to the upside with this giant cap in the VRVP here from all about 61 all the way to about 74 cents. You have to respect those 200 MAs, baby. They're going to be in your way and they're going to be resistance until they're not. But that's what I'm looking at for virtuals from a short perspective. If you're looking for higher or lower lows on virtuals, this was your lower low, this was your lower high, this is your lower low. Where's that next lower high likely to come in this golden pocket from the swing high to the swing low up here at about 60 to 61 cents. If you're looking to long, I would wait for this area to at least be cracked and retested. You would have to get a crack and a retest here of the 61878. I would wait for a crack and a bullish retest of the 618786, create a higher high first, and change market structure. You really need to see a market structure shift, as since virtuals started capitulating, you've been getting some massive lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. Higher high, higher low, higher high, and you made a lower low. So even here, even if you pull from up here, you can say that, hey, this would be your likely lower high scenario before you come down and make a lower low. And that's still a massive move for virtuals to the upside of about 28% into this range. That coincides with the high volume node here and probably the 4-hour 200 SMA. It does. So that would coincide with another test of the 4-hour 200 SMA. Looks very likely here for virtuals. Looks very likely for virtuals. Everything that I'm saying on the channel tonight, take with a grain of salt. I have to say that. Every chart that I go over, because tomorrow morning at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, you're going to see this. You're likely going to see this. Any kind of tariff news, retaliatory, you're likely going to see all this. It's going to be disgusting. Tomorrow morning, you're likely going to see it's going to be gross. It's going to gross every trader, everybody out, and likely anybody who's long or short on high leverage is going to get absolutely wiped. Absolutely wiped. I highly recommend waiting until at least tomorrow morning and we get some clarity on these tariffs and the macroeconomic environment, and potentially even Jerome Powell speaking on Friday, two of the biggest economic events that you could argue of the year 2025. This is going to shape the crypto market for the rest of the year. Can the bull market be over depending on how tomorrow and Friday goes? It certainly could be. It certainly could be. So we have to keep that on our radar as a potential scenario. I'm not being bearish. I'm not being doom and gloom. I'm still looking for higher lows on BTC here. I'm still looking for higher lows on Bitcoin. But we have to understand, this asset class, Bitcoin, thrives in what? Quantitative easing environments. Are we in a quantitative easing environment? No, we are not. We are in a quantitative tightening environment, and that has caused Bitcoin to fall from $110,000 down to where we are now at about 83. It's true. We only thrive, and you could argue that with the stock market too. It thrives in quantitative easing environments when we're constantly printing money and inflating these assets to the upside. And it's sad to say, but that's what's been propping up markets for years, ever since 2008. 4 years. They did it in 2008, printed a bunch of money, bailed out a bunch of massive companies, and allowed them to continue on the government's dime. Companies like GMC. There's only two companies that have never gone bankrupt in the United States. It's Ford and Tesla. Every other one has been bailed out by the government in one way, shape, or form. Most of the time, most of those instances occurred during 2008 when a bunch of money was printed, given those companies to stay afloat because they knew the American economy could not last without them. So that's what's crazy here. That's what's absolutely crazy, is that Since then, the government's been printing massive amounts of money. That's why we're $31 trillion in debt. We cannot turn off the money printer, baby. And now that we have, you see weakness on Bitcoin. You see weakness in the NQ and the S&P 500s closing below the daily 200 MA for the NASDAQ futures. Look at that. Paul Tudor Jones says nothing good happens underneath this daily 200 MA. And he is right. We fall below. We retested and we're falling down to the downside. This can be the beginning. I'm putting this on everybody's radar. This can be the beginning of a major crash that wrecks people's not only retirement accounts but life savings. Everybody has, a lot of people have everything. A lot of people I know have everything in the crypto and stock market, right? So retest to the downside, retest to the downside. This led to the 2022 bear market where stocks lost an average of what, 36%? Insane. That's the NQ. That's the NQ. COVID here, baby. This was a money printer scenario. This is when we turned on the money printer. How do we know we turned on the money printer? We went into a quantitative easing environment. Anybody who bought a house back here at that 2.75% interest rate, those times are gone. You will not see those rates again. This was bailing us out. This was comparative to the 2008 financial crisis. We needed to get out of it. We turned that money printer back on and to the upside. We are 3 times larger as a stock market than we were back in 2020. Back in 2020, we're 3 times larger. We were trading at 6,700 for the NASDAQ at the low here of COVID, and 6,700. And now we were just trading up at about 22,000. We are on, that's 4 times, almost 4 times greater than we were during COVID. We are heavily overextended here on the stock market, and anybody who has invested any kind of money in the stock market since anybody under the age of 35 who's been investing since 18 has never lost money. In the stock market. Does that sound natural? Oh, you put money in the market and it'll go up. Yeah, based on money printing. But now that we're in a quantitative tightening environment, arguably the first time we have been since 2008, like the first real one that we had since 2008. Is this the beginning of a greater correction? I'd be cautious underneath this 200 MA. I really would. And you're clinging. Essentially, you're praying. You're praying to the stock market gods that this is going to be a double bottom. It's going to be a double bottom, W pattern, V-shaped recovery to the upside. You know, can that happen? Absolutely. But you're clinging to this support zone. You lose this, and you're going to start testing levels that, man, you're going to start testing some severe levels. So you're going to be looking at 618, 786 Fibonacci's from reactions from the last time you had severe corrections. So you came down to the 618, you did respect it here to the upside. You failed this at the 786. Where's the next place you can pull your fib from? From down here. At this reaction. And then you're coming down to that $16,000 level. That's another 10, 20% for stocks, is it not? 15% to the downside. That would be crazy for the stock market. That would be the beginning of a rollover, and I believe it would be the beginning of a multi-year bear market, potentially. Multi-year bear market. So we have to be cautious. Going in tomorrow. Tomorrow is the leverage of everything, baby. Everything is leveraged on tomorrow and how the world reacts to the tariffs that the United States is putting on everybody else. And I'm not saying whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. I hope Trump knows what he's doing. I'm in the United States, baby. I know not everybody, one of you are in the United States, but I hope Trump knows what he's doing, because if he doesn't, this could be something that plunges the markets down into the abyss that will take years to recover from. That's what I'm looking at, baby. That's what I'm looking at. Let's dive on into the chat, see what you guys are looking at. Hey, everybody, what's going on? 50Xers will get pawned. I cannot agree with you more. PMG Corey, I don't care if you're long or short. Tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m., anybody over 50X is gone, baby. They are gone. They're gonna get wrecked. I full-heartedly believe that. Yeah, USDT tether dominance. Hey, let's pull that up. I'm glad you pulled that up. We got to pull this up more on the channel, baby. USDT tether dominance. This is important. This represents, Tether, for those of you guys who don't know, is the number 3 ranked cryptocurrency in the market. So this is where you can hold your cash essentially on exchanges as Tether, right? And you could go in between different kind of cryptos, whatever you want with your Tether. It's essentially the crypto cash, right? The crypto cash. So you could have Tether on Solana, you could have it on Ethereum, you could have it on anything, so you could purchase those things in the event a new coin comes out or something. You have purchasing power ready to go, because not all coins, like when Trump coin first came out, you could only purchase it on Solana if you had Tether on Solana or with Solana. So anybody who didn't have any kind of Solana was late to the party because they didn't have any kind of purchasing power on a Solana blockchain. So that's what Tether serves. That's what Tether serves as for a purpose, right? It serves as a as an intermediary between the different chains and the coins you could, the layer 2s, layer 3s, things that you could purchase on each individual chain. But that's Tether, baby. The number 3 ranked cryptocurrency never changes. It is tied with the US dollar. It's always at about $1 right here. Important to keep in mind. All right, USDT Tether dominance. So what are we looking at? What are we looking at here for USDT Tether dominance? USDT Tether dominance represents the percentage of all the cryptocurrency, the entire cryptocurrency market cap, the percent that is in USDT. So this represents a couple of things. This chart moves when people are depositing cash on exchanges. You can interpret it that way. Or when people sell their cryptocurrencies and keep it in Tether for purchasing at a different time. And now, looking at the weekly, baby, you are coming up here to this weekly 200 SMA, a key support resistance area. You get above this weekly 200 SMA, you're going to get some massive, this was the bear market of 2022 right here. USDT Tether dominance went up on a 148% moonshot. So Tether almost doubled in the cryptocurrency market cap. Why? Because when people started selling, people just held their Tether on exchanges. It's just the same as cash. So this pump corresponded with the bear market of 2022 in stocks and in crypto, right? So here we are again forming a bullish divergence here, a bullish divergence on the weekly time frame, a very, very powerful time frame. Why? Because the time frame is so large. It gives us a great macro overview of what's happening in the markets. We have that swing down on price action here while we're swinging up on the RSI out of an oversold condition to the upside. This is not good. This is not what you want to see. This suggests you're going to break this 677 level before you break this 371 level. In order for bull markets to happen, you need to see this roll over, baby. You need to see this roll over, and you do have a little glimmer of hope. The Fibonacci retracement from the swing high to the swing low, coming up into that golden pocket, currently rejecting from the weekly. You need USDT Tether dominance to roll over here. If you fail to roll over here on USDT Tether dominance and you regain the weekly 200 SMA, you're likely going on a moonshot mission, baby. A moonshot mission to the upside. You start cracking these highs. That's a W there if I've ever seen it, baby. That's a W, baby. To the upside, you break this neckline and you are gone. The target move, the measured move for that W pattern takes you all the way here to 881, which has corresponded to the bottom of bear markets. And God forbid you crack this level. You crack this level, oh my, and you go on a blue skies breakout to the upside, that will correspond with a crash. Any kind of movement up into here, you crack these highs, that'll be a crash, not just for Bitcoin, but for every single altcoin in the game. You're talking about 10% of all cryptos being sold off for Tether, baby. And that's just Tether. Not switching to the Bitcoin, the altcoins would suffer. This would be a massive downfall for the whole cryptocurrency space as a whole and the stock market. The stock market would definitely trade in correspondence with this as well. Likely if Bitcoin were to fall, the stock market's going to fall as well, and vice versa. All right, so diving on into the chat. Thank you, PMG Core. I appreciate you calling that out, man. Would I be live stream in the morning if things do get crazy? I'll put that out on Twitter, man. I'll jump on the live if things get absolutely crazy at 9:30. I'm not going to overreact at 9:30 a.m. The 9:30 a.m. bell, you need to wait 15 minutes after the 9:30 a.m. bell. The whipsaw action you guys are going to see tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. is going to be unlike anything you've ever seen before in your lives. That is my prediction, and I'm going to stick to it because we have one of the biggest macroeconomic events coming that impacts the entire world, and the New York Stock Exchange is going to be open at that time. Oh, baby, it'll be gnarly. It'll be gnarly, I promise. All right, here, diving on in. You have more USDT than my country currency in the bank. I have more USDT than my country currency in my bank account. Hey, man, congrats to you. That what's cool about USDT, you could get on a plane and you could fly anywhere, man, and you could transition that into any kind of currency you want. You don't have to declare it going into the country. You know, if you come in the United States with $10,000, you need to declare that. Hey, I have $10,000 I'm bringing into your country. What is it? Why is it anybody's business how much money I'm bringing into or out of the country? It's my money. You don't need to know about it. That's just my opinion. Privacy, baby, privacy. All right, so that's what I'm looking at. Baby. Going on in reviews, PMG Corey, I appreciate you guys diving on into the chat. JJ can't wait for the volatility. Hey, over in the UK. Hey, shout out to you. Yeah, this week's gonna be absolutely crazy, everybody. This week's gonna be absolutely crazy. Not only that, woo! Almost spilled my monster on my keyboard. I would have been tilted. I really would have been tilted. Oh, that was close. Not only that, on the U.S. economic calendar, we do have Jerome Powell speaking on Friday, baby. Fed Chair Jerome Powell speaking on Friday. He will be reacting to not only the tariffs, initial jobless claims, PMI, everything that's coming out, job openings, auto sales. A lot of these macroeconomic data is coming out this week. Brace yourself for one of the most macroeconomic changing weeks here in this upcoming week. This will be one of the biggest weeks for the stock market. I would argue that this is the biggest week, hands down, for the stock market that is going to determine the trajectory for the rest of 2025. It is very important to pay attention to. Have a plan, ladies and gentlemen. Have a plan. Have a plan. If we do go into a multi-year bear market, what's your plan? What's your plan? And for those of you who say it can't happen, I'm here to tell you that it can. What's your plan? Are you going to average in on the way down? Or are you going to wait for the daily 200 estimated? Have a plan. Have a plan. I encourage you to write it down on a notepad right next to your, hey, different scenarios. We break higher than this level, I'm doing this. We break lower than this level, we dive into a bear market, we have bad economic news, I'm going to do this. Write it down. That way you could look at your plan based off of whatever event does come to fruition. It is very important to have a plan. Have an exit plan. Is this bull market going to continue? When are you selling your crypto assets? Because you make zero money. You make zero money until you hit that sell button. Zero. You just have imaginary internet money until you hit that sell button. That is a true statement. Everybody here is here to make money and to get good ideas on how to make money and great entries, trade ideas, things of that nature. But at the end of the day, if I hold a trade open for infinity, do I ever make money? No, it's just all unrealized gains. Just like any of the crypto. A great example of this. I'm not picking on XRP. Don't think I'm picking on XRP. I do have a massive warning for XRP holders. I do have a massive warning here. But XRP, baby, I want to look at this right here. Right here. There are people that held, and I'm not hating on anyone. I'm not hating on XRP. I'm just using this as an example because it's an extrapolated example of a coin that had a massive run up and a downfall. Right? Here we go. And regardless, SEC lawsuit, I don't care any of that, all that macroeconomic stuff. If you want to talk about the SEC lawsuit, why did XRP back here in 2017, baby? XRP back here on Coinbase. Let's see how far back we could go. And I'm just talking about XRP because it has it on Bitstamp, doesn't it? XRP's been here before. XRP has been here before. On Bitfinex, maybe? How far does this go back, baby? How far does this go back? Ah, there we go. Possibly. Yes, here we go. There are people out there. There are people out there that have held their XRP from this moment right here. From this moment right here all the way up until today. Congrats to those people. However, not having an exit plan when your coin pumps 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, this was a multi-thousand%. You had a 14x on your gain, and there are people that did not take out their original investment. That would have been less than 5% of your entire portfolio if you held from the bottom all the way to the top here, and they held all the way back to making absolutely zero money on this move. I could not believe that. That is crazy. That is crazy. Why am I pulling up this chart? Because this is an example of something that happened back in 2017. If you have no plan, you plan to fail. A failure to plan is a plan to fail. A plan to fail. Having an exit strategy is incredible. And for those of the people who have already started taking profits, who started selling Bitcoin above 100K, who sold XRP above $3, they're feeling very good right now. Not all of it, but they sold a portion of their bag. They're feeling very good right now and have purchasing power in the event that this coin does come down, right? And any coin does come back down into levels that they deem interesting, right? And over here we are. We have this XRP's on the cusp. On the cusp, everybody. I have to say this. XRP's on the cusp. And why am I saying this? Look at these gaps in the VRVP. You lose. I will say this with confidence. If you lose this, if we go into a bear market here, XRP, in my opinion, is one of the most highest risk coins that you can be in, according from a charting perspective. Of all the coins, we could look at HBAR, something that's already has moved in tandem with XRP. HBAR already struggling massively, dropping back down to levels that you would have never expected HBAR to fall back after that November 2022 rally, or November 2024 rally. You are knocking on resistance once, twice, 3 times. This is the police with the battering ram. 4 times, 5th time, the door cracks in half. 6th times, your window cracks. 7th time, the door caves in. Is it going to cave in? Are we going to get a little bounce and a rollover? Why is this so dangerous for XRP? Because if this support breaks, you have nothing to catch you. Your next area of support is down here at $1.40. Below that, $1.11. For those who don't think XRP can revisit 60 cents, I want to give you guys the opportunity to zoom back in time and see when this has happened exactly before. This has happened before. Massive run-ups, insane hype, and then a colossal sell-off to the downside. It has happened before, and it will happen again. I'm not saying it's going to happen on XRP right now, but the danger of holding XRP is amplified. Why? Because of these giant gaps in the VRVP. A lot of assets are not sitting on gaps like this. You lose this gap, you're gapping down to the next level, which, yes, for XRP is at $1.41. You lose that gap, and look, you've only had, what, 4 days of price action in this range? You lose that, you're coming back to $1.11. You lose that, you're coming back to 60 cents. And you know, I know people are averaging in up here. I know people are thinking that these are awesome prices. And you can argue that, yes, at this support line it is. I wouldn't bet the farm on it, though. I would not bet the farm on it because with greater risk comes greater reward. But risk management, everyone. For people who got in down here on XRP, you are still up. You have to understand that you're still up 255%. One of the biggest movers of the bull market that we've had here in November. And again, not financial advice. Just understand your risk to the downside. The risk to the downside for XRP is so much greater than a lot of the other coins in the space right now. Yes, you are above the daily 200. I acknowledge that. And that's good. That's a bullish sign. This will serve as an area of support. But there is no volume supporting you because there's no price history. You've traded in between $1.50 and $1.80 for less than 24 hours. There is no price history and no orders in the books that support you'll get any kind of bounce once you'll lose these support levels until you get down to about $1.41. Crazy. And this wick, this was crazy. This was a 50% drop for XRP. And I get it. I get the institutional adoption. I don't care what your coin is, and I don't care what your coin does. If it's in the top 300, it will follow Bitcoin. If Bitcoin bounces here, XRP likely going to be fine. Likely going to be fine. Rebounds off here, reclaims a high volume node back to highs. It can happen. It can happen. But if Bitcoin falls to 60 to 70K, all these coins are going to be dragged to the depth with it. And I'm not saying that to be bearish. I'm putting that on your radar, guys, because I really, really care about people's financial stability and the ability to grasp risk management. And putting all your eggs in one basket, even if that basket is Tether, is not generally the best idea. All right, here we go. Diving on in, baby. Diving on into the chat. JJ can't wait for volatility. Yeah, absolutely. You can't just take 10K cash without doing paperwork. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Yeah, cries and internet money, Michaela B. What's going on? Yeah, too many fanboys in XRP, JJ. Hey, I'm not talking about retail. Yes, I agree with what you're saying. There's a lot of people who don't even know what XRP does that has put their entire life savings into it. But I'm speaking from a charting perspective only, and I'm trying to be as non-biased as possible because the people who are going to get wrecked during a bear market are retail who won't expect it and don't know how it happened. Oh, XRP already ran out. It's going to the moon, and you see it on Twitter, baby. Those $100, $1,000 price targets will not happen. I'll put my trader stamp on that. I'll say it on the Boys Crypto channel every day, 10 ways to Sunday. You will not see a $100 XRP. Not this bull market. It will not happen. I will put the trader stamp on that. There is not enough money in this market / in this country, in the markets that can make that happen. Look at the market cap and understand we've done that a couple streams ago. Why XRP cannot mathematically get to those prices unless we had some kind of massive government buying spree. Highly unlikely, especially since there's a singular entity that owns 45% of the supply. A massive warning to me and any other investor in the project. We don't know the true intentions behind the people who are holding that wallet. Yes, it's the Ripple escrow wallet, but that's why they were sued in the first place. I'm getting a little away from the charts. That's why they were sued. In my opinion, XRP should have lost the lawsuit. I'll say that. I think XRP should have lost the lawsuit. Until you could give me an explanation how XRP can legally sell on everyone every single month, dump billions of tokens, and collect billions of dollars when they have an unprofitable business model, until you can prove to me that is justified, anybody else doing that would get sued to the bone. I think the courts made the wrong decision. And a lot of people do miss Gary Gensler. And that's just how I view the token. And that's me personally. And I don't own it. I have a little XRP on a ledger, but besides that, I don't own any. And if it runs to the upside, if people are right, you know, then I'll miss the train. It is what it is. And I hope for the people who hold it, they're right. It's a lot of my family and close friends, man. I hope everybody's right. I really do hope everybody's right. And this thing is the new financial institution of the world. To me, that's a great brand. That's a great way to brand it. That's a great way to brand it. And the charts are saying that there's likely going to be an event like you had back here. This is just what the charts are saying. And, you know, did anybody think that when XRP was at $3.30 before, it would trade down here at 30 cents again, 40 cents again, below that? Did anybody think XRP would be at 30 cents before? You would have laughed in their faces up here at $3, wouldn't they? Like that's, I just have to keep that on everybody's radar because I'm so fearful, especially for this asset, testing major support over and over and over and over and over and over again. The potential to the downside is so massive here on these gaps in the VRVP. You have to wonder. You have to wonder. And tomorrow, you know what happens tomorrow, everybody? Another billion XRP gets released from the escrow wallet for Ripple that they'll have the ability to sell on people. Them selling that can capitulate this to the downside. That's a risk, and then the risk that I'm not willing to take, and I'm not a part of it. Shout out to the XRP army. With that being said, you guys have made some of the greatest gains this bull market, baby. Some of the greatest gains, even now up a 4x. A lot of altcoins can't say that. A lot of altcoins trading beneath this red line, the daily 200 SMA. But I am saying if we do have a downturn in the crypto space, this is likely going to play catch up to the downside. As things like to play catch up to the upside in bull markets, this would likely play catch up to the downside. I just want to put that on everybody's radar. Put that on everybody's radar. That's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm looking at, baby. That's what I'm looking at. All right, yeah, JJ, I agree with you, man. I agree with you. The more they pump it up on social, the higher the sell signal. I agree, guys. I agree. I totally agree. Yeah, XRP can be great. I think it has potential. I think it does have potential, but to not acknowledge the risk here from a charting perspective, to me, I just can't do that as a trader. I cannot do that as a trader. Other coins don't have these gaps here. These levels, this entire range from here to here. Let's get rid of this. The entire range from here to here, you could argue down here. Let's see. These ranges, the ranges where you only see a singular candle, have no price history. They were there very quickly. You could argue that some of these were squeezed. They have not been tested. None of these areas have been tested. I would bet you, do you have any CME gaps? No, you got that one filled. Do you have a CME gap down here? Friday, Saturday? Nope, nope, nope. Saturday right here. This CME gap down here was never, dear. Yeah, you did create a CME gap here. You have a CME gap down here underneath $1. It's just something to consider. I'm not saying to sell your bag. I'm not giving financial advice. I just worry about a lot of people with this asset. I worry about it. All right, but yeah, XRP does have a great potential. It does. You know, Brad Garlinghouse sitting on the security, the crypto council for the White House. That's really good. Getting him in there and everything. That's awesome. And you know, people are like, oh, he's in bed with Trump. Yeah, that could lead to something. But you gotta argue that Trump hasn't made any money on crypto. Everybody, you had World Liberty Financial is negative hundreds of millions of dollars in the hole. They haven't made money yet. If there was going to be a dump and Trump knew it, why would he lose hundreds of millions of dollars instead of accumulating at these prices? Doesn't make much sense to me. All right, diving on in. You sold at 310 PMG, Corey. Congratulations. I'm sure a lot of other people are jealous and would love that opportunity again. XRP strong. Check the chart. It never punches down like the others. I agree. It has been holding relative strength compared to the rest of the market. All I'm saying is that there's no price history in here to assume that there's any orders to the upside. You did have this wick here that did get bought up, but this was a capitulation event for liquidations. Anybody who's long down here, I don't know if the market makers are going to let everybody that's been long up in these ranges ride this to, you know, $1,000 or whatever everybody wants to say the price targets are. I highly doubt it. I think they'll come for the longs, baby. I think they'll come. Look, flip this upside down. Would this not be a great reversal play? Shoulder, head, right shoulder to the upside. About to crack that daily 200 MA. We cracked that daily 200 MA, baby. We're going to the upside, to the moon. It's the same way on the inverted chart. So that's just how I'm viewing XRP from a charting perspective. All right, diving on in. Got to just play the charts as much as you love XR. I agree. I get the fundamentals and everything. I'm talking from a charting perspective, everyone. I know I kind of went on a little bit of a tangent on the macro right there. I'm talking from a charting perspective, and this is exactly what happened back here. XRP is the standard. XRP to the moon, and then it had a crash. XRP is a standard, the new financial world order. You know, it had a market cap bigger than Bitcoin at one point, to the downside. Like, nobody thought that these kind of corrections could happen, and I'm bringing that to this space because I know there's a lot of newer traders and newer people into this space that have not ridden a bull bear cycle before. When that bear market hits, that's when the retail would get hit in the teeth with the bat. I've been through it. I've lost a lot of money in this space firsthand, baby. When I was in the Navy, I lost a metric butt ton of money in this space because I sold Bitcoin down at $17,000. I sold Bitcoin down at $17,000. I offloaded, it was about half a Bitcoin at $17,000. Oh, horrible mistake. A $30,000 mistake on my end, right? And I did that earlier in the Navy. That was crazy. And man, now I'm looking at it, I'm like, wow, what if I just held that coin? Did I need that? Did I use that money for anything? No, I just had it in my bank account. That's crazy. That's crazy, right? And now, yeah, since then, I've averaged back in and everything. I've reestablished my Bitcoin position, but man, that half a coin would have been worth so much more today had I understood what Bitcoin was in the first place and understood that back here, that was the lows, everybody. That was the low. I sold at the lows. I sold at a max fear. I sold down here. I sold. This was when? Down here in this range. I sold, baby. I sold it. I was so fearful, and everything started crashing. It was terrible. It was a disaster. Everything started crashing. I remember this is 2022. It was horrible. I sold here. I sold 17,000. Where is it? Right here. I sold at the bottom. This is where I offloaded my Bitcoin. I'll be first and foremost with each and every single one of you. This is where I offloaded Bitcoin when I was in the Navy. I learned, I understand how these cycles work, baby. And as soon as we cracked the daily 200 SMA, we went on a bull market that if I would have just held that, man, I would have been so happy, right? I would have been so happy. And again, I've reestablished my Bitcoin position, average back in and everything. It's fine. But these are the lessons that I'm here to teach every single one of you. I didn't think Bitcoin was going to go back to 17,000. I didn't think that. My first Bitcoin purchase was back here in $8,000, down in this range. It was absolutely crazy when I first got into the Navy. That's when I first purchased Bitcoin. So it's wild to think that these price swings can happen. And now that we're extended up near that $180,000 range, people don't think we can see $30,000, $40,000 again. They're wrong. We can. And I don't care about the massive institution. But oh man, I'm getting off on a little bit of a rant. But much love, everyone. Much love. I just want to keep the downside on everybody's radar. I want to keep the downside on everybody's radar because it does glare in our faces at times. And right now, with the NQ and the S&P showing massive weakness, we need to understand from a macroeconomic perspective what's going on in this space. All right, diving on in. The industrial stablecoin adoption, JJ. Hey man, anything could happen. That's for sure. But we've seen adoption, and there's constantly new adoption for XRP. Why is it trading down 33%, 40%? Because it's following Bitcoin, just as every other coin does in the game, baby. In the game. PMG Corey. To view things out from the upside down angle. Yeah, man, that's what I love to do. I hate looking for shorts. I hate it. I'll never look for shorts. I hate looking for shorts. I just flip the chart upside down and look for longs, baby. Would you long this? You can flip the RSI too. Would you long this? Hidden bull div right here. Hidden bull div. Swing up on price action while you have a swing down on the RSI. That's hidden bull div right there, saying that you're going to break this low before you break this high. Yeah, it can happen. It can happen. That's bear div right there. But yeah, hidden bear div. There's bull div, but there's also hidden bear div. It's crazy. It's crazy. So yeah, this market is definitely tough to figure out. Another thing that I am kind of seeing here, now I'm pulling this up. Is this something like a shoulder, head, right shoulder that we're seeing? A shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. Can that be forming here on the charts? That is a possibility. I just noticed that. Shoulder, head, right shoulder to the upside for Bitcoin. Can that happen? Yeah, absolutely. We were claiming that 200 MA. We break this downward sloping resistance line. We could go on a rocket shot to the upside that nobody expects for Bitcoin to 17% up to that key support resistance zone up here at about 96,000. It's likely. It looks like we're getting a little bit of a bottom here. I mean, it could happen. But we have to understand what's going to happen tomorrow and get a little more clarity on the markets. That's what I'm looking at, baby. That's what I'm looking at. Yeah, 75 Bitcoin and you lost it in poker. Then, man, I'm sorry, man. Handed to me from a poker site a year later, not knowing the potential. I reformatted my hard drive, man. I'm sorry, dude. Hey, and you know what? PMG Corey? There are so many people that fail to understand that has not just happened to you, brother. I mean, that's a shame, and I'm sorry, man. And I wish I could be like, I wish I was like, man, what were you thinking? Whoa, nobody knew. Very few people knew the potential of that asset. I don't blame you, man. I don't blame you. You talked about Bitcoin 10 years ago. Nobody knew what you were talking about, and everybody laughed in your face. The people that got released on CNN and everything, when they talked about it, they talked about it as a scam. Peter Schiff talks about it as a scam still to this day. A lot of people hated it. Robert Kiyosaki hated it. A lot of Trump hated it. Everybody hated Bitcoin. Everybody. Trump has interviews from back when he was running for president in 2016. I don't like Bitcoin. I like the US dollar. I don't like crypto. He didn't like it. He doesn't like it. Oh, he flipped the page now. Now he likes it. A lot of people who did not like this asset before are now fans. Look at the people who hated it back in 2010. A lot of people did, saying that it could disrupt the new financial order, and people didn't like that. People like the dollar being in charge. America, right? Yeehaw. And now Bitcoin is rearing its head as one of the strongest assets in the game. And we're still super early, baby. We're still super early. PMG Corey, I think a lot of people did that. And you know what? That 21 million Bitcoin, that limited supply, the amount that's been lost to California wildfires that just happened. People lost their ledgers and lost their security, lost their passphrases, baby. Those Bitcoin will never be recovered. Michael Saylor's saying that he'll burn his entire supply. He'll burn his entire supply when he dies. You know, that adds to that scarcity element. So is there 21 million Bitcoin? Yes. But for me, in my perspective, I really think there's only about, conservatively, I think there's about 14, 15,000. I've seen game shows where people would win. It'd be like $100, $50, $25, and then 50 Bitcoin at the bottom back in 2010. So there are people that have won 50 Bitcoin at like spelling bees and stuff, and probably just threw it away, forgot about it, don't even know how to acquire it, obtain it, and forget where it is. There's so many people that has lost so much. There was a guy who threw away $550 million today in a trash can on live television back in 2010. That many Bitcoin on a ledger, threw it in a trash can. Insane. The guy who his wife threw away a USB. It's in the New York dump right now, and he's trying to sue to get it back. Hundreds of millions of dollars of Bitcoin. Devastating, right? So a lot of keys, a lot of Bitcoin are gone and they're lost forever. And I think it's crazy to see. I can see it on Whale Watcher on X. You can see a dormant wallet has opened up after 10 years of dormancy in this space. Hundreds of millions of dollars of Bitcoin that were accumulated at a few dollars, under $100. Isn't that crazy that this asset used to trade at pennies back in 2010? Insane to me. The entire Bitcoin supply back in 2010, 10 cents times 21 million. What is that? You could have had the entire Bitcoin supply for $2 million. That's crazy. But no, you know, and none of those were mined or anything. You could have mined it with a home PC. People who have mined it on those old computers, those people likely have hundreds of Bitcoin that are sitting on there. Then those computers are destroyed and gone. And, you know, you never know. All right, everybody, that's what I'm looking at. Baby. Diving on over into the chat. At least he didn't buy 10,000. Yeah, the guy who bought 10,000, the first purchase of Bitcoin, $10,000 for a Domino's pizza, baby. $10,000 for a Domino's pizza. Or 10,000 Bitcoin for a Domino's pizza. That would be worth over $1 billion, I believe, in today's money. $1 billion for 2 pizzas for Domino's. Nobody knew. Nobody foresaw this, except arguably DaVinci J15. He has a video. It's one of the most viewed videos on YouTube of him saying when Bitcoin is trading at just under $1, he said, please just spend $1 on Bitcoin, just $1, $1 on Bitcoin. He was saying that back in 2010. It was crazy YouTube video. I think that's so cool. But that's what I'm looking at, baby. From the macro. I know diving away from the charts a little bit, but yeah, I bet that pizza was good, man. Rod, you bought Bitcoin back in 2010? Dude, shout out to you. You bought Bitcoin back in 2010. I don't know if you're still holding or not, brother, but congratulations to you. You made the best investment anyone ever has in the history of the world, man. In the history of the world. There's never been an asset that has performed better than Bitcoin has ever. It is the world's best performing asset from the beginning, from its inception to where it is now. There's not been anything that has performed like Bitcoin. And nothing has those gains. Nothing has those type of gains at all. And nothing. That's what I'm looking at, baby. That's what I am looking at. Let's take a look. Hey, we were looking at Bitcoin dominance yesterday. Bitcoin dominance, Bitcoin dominance, yes, did have the daily divergence. It is violating the convergent line right here on the RSI. You know, we're looking at this daily divergence, and now it's making a little bit of a, it's looking to break out of here. I'm still speculating on the weekly. I have to zoom out to the weekly when I'm down on Bitcoin dominance about this inverted cup and handle to the 618-786 bearish Fibonacci retracement from the swing high to the swing low. If we're going to reverse for Bitcoin, it's now. It's between now and 66%. If we do not hold this level for Bitcoin, to me, that's a rest in peace scenario for the altcoins. Bitcoin dominance runs up to 80, 90%. It could happen. If we crack the 786 and go and retest these highs, that's a W right there, everybody. That's a big old W pattern to the upside, a target of which would take you to over 100%, which is not going to happen here for Bitcoin. But yeah, it's not possible for Bitcoin with all the big assets in the space. That would take you to 106%. That's a W pattern. But right now, what I'm seeing, this inverted baby cup and handle. You have the inverted cup. And you have the handle coming up to the 618-786. If this was the 1 minute chart and we flipped it upside down, baby, this would look like a juicy long to me. This would look like a juicy long. You had that correction. You had that lower high coming in, the 618-786, bullish Fibonacci to the upside with the gap in the VRVP to support you. This cup and handle says, as of now, despite all the price action that's been happening, and the craziness in the market, this says that the alt season to come is going to be one of the biggest there's ever been in history. A 52 to 55% drop on Bitcoin dominance looks likely based on this inverted cup and handle. And look what happened the last time, baby. Look what happened the last time. This drop took 4 months, nothing, 120 days to get a 44% drop in Bitcoin dominance. Is that coming? I think it's likely. I think it could happen. And I think a lot of these altcoins can run like we've never seen before. I am holding that thesis until we crack this 66.46 level. I'm not giving the 886 any validity. I think that will be a test of the highs. If we do get up here, we break those highs and retest them in the support. Rest in peace, altcoins. That'll be Bitcoin dominance going to the moon. And everyone who's a Bitcoin maxi will have been right. This will squeeze the altcoins to either zero / their deaths, or Bitcoin's going to run without everything else, and nothing else is going to run with Bitcoin. Bitcoin will show itself as the superior asset if we do break this 618-786 bearish Fibonacci retracement to the downside. That's what I'm looking at for Bitcoin dominance. I'm going to show that every single day here on the charts, baby, because I believe this is the turning point for Bitcoin dominance. All right, diving on into the chat. Best job was delivering pizzas. Yeah, hey, man. Hey, shout out to you. I used to bag groceries at a grocery store. I served tables at the Olive Garden, man. At the Olive Garden, would you like more cheese, brother? Would you like more cheese? Yeah, yeah. I used to do that before I joined the Navy. Crazy. All right, diving on in. Am I positive the Bitcoin price will go below 80K? No. I am not positive that the Bitcoin price will go below 80K. I have to wait for tomorrow, man. I have to wait for tomorrow. And I said that earlier I said this earlier in the stream. Everything that I say today hedges on tomorrow. Everything. I'm telling you guys. I don't care if we get a rip up to 88K tonight. Ignore it. And I have to ignore it. I have to. Why? Because if we get some kind of massive bearish retaliatory tariffs, which are likely, we are attacking, essentially, we're economically attacking other countries, and the stock market is praying that they don't attack us back. If they attack us back and countries like Mexico, Canada, and the European Union team up like they said they would be, and Trump said, if you guys team up, I'm going to tariff you harder. If that scenario does come to fruition, this shoulder, head, right shoulder, invalid. You'll get the dump on Bitcoin, baby. You'll fall below 80K, and it'll happen fast, as well as the NQ, as well as the S&P 500, as well as your favorite altcoin. Everything will dump. Watch tomorrow. It is going to be imperative tomorrow, and I know I don't normally stray away from the charts that much, but I have to talk about the macro today. I have to talk about that. I have to keep that on everybody's radar because tariffs are coming Liberation Day, according to President Trump. And I don't know. I'm uncertain. And so is everybody else. The proof is right here. Proof in the pudding, baby. Proof is in the pudding, I think they say. The proof is right here on the last 3-day rally for gold. and this is saying not just me being confused, institutions being confused, hedge funds being confused. You can't get a 4% move on gold in just a couple. Where is this? You cannot get a 4% move on gold in 4 days. What is this from the swing low? You can't get a 4% move on gold. A 4% move, gold is worth $18 trillion. That's $1 trillion that has been added to gold in the past 4 days. $1 trillion, half of the Bitcoin market cap has been added to gold in the past singular 4 days. That is screaming to me that not institutions, companies, the government. I think there's so many people around the world that are so unsure right now, including myself. This is the proof right here. This is where people run. This is where people run during times of economic uncertainty, baby. They want to preserve their purchasing power. They're going to dive to gold, and gold on a rampage over the last 4 days and that corresponds perfectly with one of the most unsure economic times, and I would argue in history. We can be looking at a top for the S&P 500. We can be looking at a top for BTC, and a lot of it hedges on the things that come out this week. I do firmly believe that. That's what I'm looking at, baby. Yeah, the big trade war looming. I totally agree. PMG Corey, if we do get a big trade war, rest in peace to your altcoins, rest in peace to Bitcoin, rest in peace to the NASDAQ, S&P 500, and say hello to a recession/depression. We are overdue for it. We haven't had one since 2008. It happens on average every 12 years. We're 4 years, 5 years overdue, ladies and gentlemen, for any kind of stock market correction. You could, COVID was propped up by the government. Exactly how we got out of 2008. We just started it way earlier with COVID. We started it right away to prevent a stock market collapse. We got that collapse in the V-shaped recovery. You don't see any recoveries like that, everybody. You don't see recoveries like this. You will not see a recovery like, where is it? On the daily. Let's go to the NQ on the daily. You don't see, the only way you get recovery like this in the stock market, where is it? You do not see this kind of sharp decline and push up. This is money printing right here. That's money printing. This is what a correction looks like. You get that failure, and it takes years to get out of. It takes years to crack the highs. During COVID, from the high of 2008 to January of 2011, it took 3 years to reclaim the highs. For COVID, how long did it take? For COVID, it took 4 months. 3 years for 2008. 4 months, 84 days for us to reclaim the highs after a colossal 32% decrease. That was the government catching the economy. That's all that was. 2022 was a little bit of a better correction to the downside. It did take more time, but ultimately we turned on the money printer again. And this is where we get that stagflation/inflation that is really killing this country right now. It really is. And we're coming to a point where the bubble's going to pop. We got to stop printing money eventually. And that's the position that Jerome Powell is in right now, baby. That's the position that Jerome Powell is in right now. Jerome Powell has to decide, is it better to keep people employed and print more money? Or is it better to stop printing money and risk the jobless claims will rise because, companies don't have as much money to be able to pay people because there's less money in circulation. So people will start getting fired. That's the Fed's only objective. They have nothing to do with the market. The Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell's mission statement, if you will, shout out to all you guys who went through 5th grade. You guys remember that? What is today's mission statement? The mission statement of the Fed is to maximize employment while keeping interest rates low, and their target is 2% right now, a target of which they are not achieving. So there's no reason for Jerome Powell to turn the money printer back on unless we get some horrible employment data, and so far, we haven't had that. Where's the previous week? Jobless claims. We had 2,400 less people apply for jobless claims. He has no reason to turn on that money printer, baby. And President Trump is begging him. He's like, please, Jerome, please turn on the money printer. We need it, because never in history have we had tariffs of this severity without a quantitative easing environment to prop up the markets. That's why everybody's fearful right now. Tomorrow is going to be a huge day for the markets, everybody. A huge day for the markets. And I know I keep kind of round turning that, but I have to drill that into everybody's head. I'm going to be up at 9:30, baby. And I'm going to be staring at the screen. I'm going to be ready to go for 9:30. I'm going to be looking at that. I'm going to be observing. I'm not going to be trading. I'm going to be observing the market. And I'm looking to take a trade on the reaction on the reaction. I'll keep you guys up to date on that. Boys Crypto 102 on X, on Twitter, baby. Yeah, Boys Crypto 102. I will let you guys know if I'm entering or exiting any kind of trades. I haven't been in a trade since I got stopped out of that Ethereum position just 2 days ago or so. I haven't been in a trade. I haven't touched any leverage trades because this environment has not been healthy for trading, and it won't be healthy until after tomorrow and arguably Friday. I may get into a trade. If I get into a trade, it'll be tomorrow, tomorrow night, potentially, after the stock market has had its whipsaw day. I'm not looking to play those whale actions. And we don't even know how Asia's going to respond to it. It's crazy because the Asian markets will be closed. So the Asian markets will come in that following night and add their volatility into the mix. It's going to be a crazy week, ladies and gentlemen, a crazy week. All right, dive it on into the chat, baby. Dive it on into the chat. If it gets crazy, PMG Corey, I may go live, man. I may go live. I'll let you guys know. I'll write that down here. I'll let you guys know by 8:30 a.m. tomorrow if I'm going live. 8:30 a.m. I'm sorry, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So 7:30 Central. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You'll see that on Twitter. I'll let you guys know if I'm going live or not, or if I just want to stick in the charts. I will let you guys know. Yeah, 2021 was a rough year. Hey, 2021 was a rough year. Rod, there are going to be people that are like, why'd you sell your Bitcoin crazy? Well, I bet you they didn't buy their Bitcoin in 2010, baby. Congrats to you, man. I haven't met anybody here that has had. I didn't buy Bitcoin in 2010. Where was I I was 14 years old at 2010. I wish I was putting my Kroger paychecks into Bitcoin at that time. I wish I was making, $7 an hour. I think I was making back in 2014. In high school, man, the Kroger. Yeah, man, at the grocery store, crazy. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at. If I go live, you'll be there, JJ. Yeah, man. Yeah, shout out to you. Are you in the UK, man? Yeah, it'd be crazy. But yeah, keep your notifications on. If you guys want to know whenever I'm going live, when it's not predetermined, if I do decide to go live like that, tick that little notification bell that's next to the subscribe button. It'll ping on your phone. It'll let you know when I'm going live. So definitely tick those notification bells so you guys know whenever I'm hopping on in the live that's not at our normal 9:30 or at our normal 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. I just changed the time on my computer, so it's a little different now. I used to have it set to the New York time, but now it's set to my time. So, all right, that's what I'm looking at, baby. That's what I'm looking at. Going on into the night, let's take another look at Bitcoin here. Let's take another look at Bitcoin before we end up rounding out. I would love to dive into altcoins, everybody, but I'd be doing everyone a disservice. Anything that I say about the altcoins tonight, whether it be bullish or bearish, heavily depends on tomorrow morning. I don't want to lead anybody astray. I don't want to give anybody setups that are like awesome and to be like, oh, Boys Crypto, it looked so good yesterday. What happened? I'm telling you, tomorrow will be the day that determines the macro direction of the markets, arguably for the rest of 2025. Zooming in here on the smaller time frames, let's look at the 15-minute for BTC. We did get above that 15-minute 200 MA. We had the golden cross here. It looks pretty good to me. It looks pretty good to the upside for BTC. Did we get a 618786 retracement right there? It looks like we did from the swing low to the swing high. Perfectly came that golden pocket and boom to the upside over the 200 MA. We're looking for the 30. The 30-minute 200 MA is our next test, ladies and gentlemen, up here at about 83.3. We get above that, we'll come to the hour. We'll test the hour, which is all the way up here at about 85.2. That would be a monumental move throughout the night for BTC. And looking at the shoulder, head right shoulder on the 1 hour, looks very, very promising for a little bit of a rally here for BTC throughout the night. Could that be a trap for the bulls? Yeah, it definitely could. The whales could just let this pump to the upside. It gives them more liquidity to flush it down, make more money for the Bitcoin if there is a negative news tomorrow. Or this could just be the setup. This could be the setup that plays over the course of the next couple hours, and we get some massive, massive economic good news tomorrow. We could wake up tomorrow and tariffs be like, oh, never mind, we're not doing that. Trump has dropped the mic several times on Truth Social that completely 180 flipped in a matter of seconds. It could happen. I'm not keeping that off I'm not taking that off the table. Shoulder, head, right shoulder to the upside for BTC. The targeted move here comes up. Look at that. About to test a 1 hour 200 SMA. It does. It says we'll go up and test that 1 hour 200 SMA. The VRVP gets thin here where the ball rolling off the hill, baby. Supported by this high volume node here down at about 82.5. Looks good for a reversal for Bitcoin throughout the night. A reversal for Bitcoin throughout the night. That is my most likely scenario. Let's take our fib here. I'll bet that coincides with the 6182, doesn't it? It does. Yeah. Shoulder, head, right shoulder coming up to test that 1 hour 200 SMA in the 618, 786 golden pocket retrace right about to fall out. It coincides with the high volume nodes up here. You may be able to gap up a little further up to 87. You could get a squeeze throughout the night for Bitcoin. I promise you there's a lot of shorts in the market expecting a massive dump as all over X as everybody's like, everybody's going to dump tomorrow. It's going to be crazy. Everybody's going to dump. Well, why would you wait for tomorrow to dump your coins? Why would everybody wait for April 2nd to all dump their coins at the same time? That is, to me, degen thinking, oh, I'm going to wait for April 2nd when everybody's dumping to sell my coins. I'm going to wait for the price to absolutely collapse and then I'll sell. That makes no sense to me. If you're looking to get out of this market, you had time. And maybe now is the time. You get a break up here if you're looking to get out of the market. If you're looking to get out of the market during times of uncertainty, this is where I would want to do it. If I was a whale, I would want to get out of 86, 87,000, not 82, 83, 80, right? Lower high, continuation to the downside. Can that happen? Yeah, absolutely. It definitely could. We already changed market structure. We made a lower low. Higher high, higher low, higher high. This is a higher low, or a lower low. You can speculate on a lower high coming in somewhere up here at about that $86,000, $87,000 region. I think that is relatively likely for BTC, baby, for BTC. We'll have to see as the night progresses. I will see you guys tomorrow on the live. Thank you for joining me tonight. Make sure to drop a like on the live stream before you guys do head on out of here. It definitely does help me out. And leave a comment. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate each and every single one of you, baby. Each and every single one of you. I appreciate you guys here. Hey, you know what? Where is this? All right, hey, we got some Boys Crypto shirts. I forgot to do this. This is, where we at? This is Monday, isn't it? Monday, baby. This is Merch Monday. I announced it last week, or maybe the week before. But now we got our merchandise in. All right, everybody. We're going to do a little bit of a giveaway here before we head out on the stream. All right, here's how this is going to work. We got 6 people in the chat. Hey, we got 6 people in the chat. 6 people in the chat. You guys get ready to spam some numbers. I'm going to write a number in between 1 and 30. 1 and 30. Don't type anything. Don't type anything. I'll let you guys know when you can go. I'm going to type a number between 1 and 30 on here. 1 and 30. First person, I don't care how many times you spam in the chat to get it. First person to get it, gets it. All right, you guys start spamming some numbers in the chat. I wrote it down. Spam some numbers in the chat. Spam some numbers in the chat, baby. Spam some numbers in the chat. April with the 26. No. All right, yeah, keep spamming. 1 to 30, 1 to 30, 1 to 30, 1 to 30, 1 to 30. We're going in. No. Whoa, yeah, yo, we got one. Here we go. I got you guys. We got it here on the notepad. We got a 9, baby. 9. Diving on in. I think I saw it. PMG Corey, you hit the 9. 9. PMG Corey, baby. PMG Corey wins the merch giveaway for Monday. I got a t-shirt coming your way, man. Email me at matthew.boyce102@gmail.com. It is in the channel link, matthew.boyce102@gmail.com. Let me know where you want that shirt sent to you, man, and let me know what size you want, man. We'll get that headed your way. We got gold and we got pink, baby. We got gold and we got pink for the Boys Crypto merch giveaway. Hey, shout out to you, PMG Corey. Congratulations, brother. Congratulations. Just let me know. Hey, yeah, let me know, man. Let me know what address you want that sent to, and I will get that sent off your way. Congratulations, brother. Congratulations. All right, everybody. That's going to be it. That's going to be everything that I have for tonight. Speculating on a reversal here out of the shoulder, head, right shoulder, inverted for BTC up to the 618. 786 bearish retracement up to that $85,000, $86,000 zone. Coincides with the 1 hour 200 SMA serving as resistance here. Looks very, very likely here for BTC, but there's going to be massive volatility in between tonight as the Asia market closes and tomorrow as the New York session opens with these massive tariffs. Keep your eyes on the news. Keep your eyes on X. I will keep you guys posted if I'm going to go live tomorrow morning. PMG Corey, get me your address, brother. Get me your address and let me know what size you wear. I appreciate you guys diving on into the giveaway. Until tomorrow, everybody. Until tomorrow, baby. Boys Crypto is out, baby. We are out. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for sharing your Monday night with me.